Hey guys, welcome to Virtual Training at Home Strength Routine. So we are doing almost all body strength for this routine, but you will need a band like this. You can buy them locally. I know they sell them at Play It Again Sports, probably a few other places too. The way it will work is this video is just for you to reference to check and see what the exercises look like and how to do the proper technique. We will start with a warm-up. It's really important to be warmed up before doing any sort of strength routine. These are designed to activate all of our muscle groups before we launch right into the strength routine. So we're going to start with hip rotations. Lift one foot off of the ground, bring that knee straight up, and then rotate out to your side. Next, we're going to kind of do the opposite rotation, so we'll lift up to the side and bring our knee back in front of us and back down. This is shoulder rotations. These are pretty straightforward. We'll just start with a forward rotation, and after about 20 seconds, you can go ahead and switch and rotate backward. Walkouts. These are a great way to not only stretch your legs a bit, but also start to activate your core during the warm-up. So go ahead and place your palms flat on the ground, walk out to a nice straight plank, and then walk right back up to that starting position. Jumping jacks. Do about 20 seconds before you move on to air squats. So these are kind of quick squats. They don't need to be done too deep. Just make sure you're sitting back and pushing your weight down through your heels. Whenever we're doing any sort of squat, we don't want our knees to jot out in front of our toes. Next one is the opposite toe touch, and it's exactly as it sounds. Start with a slightly wider stance, keep your arms straight, and then alternate between touching your opposite hand to opposite toe, coming back up to the standing position in between each one. The next one is a standing side crunch. Similar to skiing, there's almost no exercise we'll do during weight training where our core isn't engaged. And so this, again, is a good core activator, and it's also a nice little balance drill. Plus, you get some bonus oblique crunches. The first one, we're going to be using these mini bands, which hopefully you're all able to find one or two. They're just really effective tools. I haven't found a better way to actually work the hip flexors than with these bands, and the hip flexor muscles are so important to all cross-country skiing. This first one is going to be several different exercises in one. We're going to start with a side shuffle. So make sure the band is taut at all times. It should be placed around your lower ankle, and what you're going to do is go ahead and stretch your feet out to where the band is actually stretched out and there's tension. Shuffle to the side, stretching the band even more, and then just bringing your foot a little bit in where it stays taut and shuffle across the room. When you get to the other side, you'll stay facing the same direction and shuffle back. So you'll do 8 to 12 steps per direction. The next exercise is going to be the monster walk, which is basically just, again, a really nice wide stance. And we're going to do short little steps forward. Then we'll go ahead and walk right back backwards, keeping that band taut. The last one is a stationary shuffle. It's going to start by bringing the foot forward, then you're going to go ahead and bring your foot out to the side and then to the back, and you'll repeat all of these standing on the other foot as well. Split leg squat, and for this exercise you're going to want to prop your back leg or your back foot up on a table or a chair. Then you're going to need to move that front foot forward enough. You might have to hop forward a little bit so that when you lunge down, you have a nice 90-degree bend in your knee. It's important to try to keep your chest upright when you do this so your spine is vertical to the ground. Oftentimes people kind of hunch forward when they do this, so make sure you keep your spine nice and straight. To modify this exercise, you can either add hand weights to make it more challenging, or you can just do a traditional lunge without that back foot lifted if you want to make this easier. All right, back to upper body and grab those mini bands again. You might want to use a different tension, a different weight band than what you did for your lower body, but you can experiment with that and find out. So what you're going to do is place the band right around your lower palms and then go ahead and stretch it out in front of you so it's nice and taut. And then you're going to lift it up and put it behind your head. The tighter you keep the band, the harder this is going to be. So the further apart you can keep your hands spread. All right, we'll switch now to exercise number 5, the glute bridge. For some reason, these ones are so hard for me. But the way you do them is you lay down on your back, and you're going to bring your feet in flat on the floor, and then push your shoulders into the ground to lift your back and your butt off the ground. Then you can go ahead and straighten one leg and do leg raises, 8 to 10 per side. For this is to just keep both feet flat on the ground and just lift your hips up and do your reps that way. So, all right, the next exercise is dips. So you'll want to find a sturdy chair or table you have around your house to do this on. This exercise, basically the goal is to get down to about a 90-degree angle before you come back up. And the modification for this is the closer in you bring your feet, the easier it will be. All right, and our last exercise is arm extensions. So for this exercise, you're gonna want some really light weights, really like 3 to 5 pounds is usually enough. Grab our weights and we'll make sure our palms are facing down and that we have an overhand grip on whatever we're using for weight. We're gonna lift the weights up straight in front of us. Then we're gonna bring them out to the side, so we're in like a cross shape. Drop them down to the sides of our bodies, back up to that cross, and then bring them back in front of our body and lower to the starting position. And that counts as 1 rep.